You ever wondered about your child's reading level or even what is expected at their school with their particular reading level? Stick around, I have a few thoughts to share with you. Hi, I'm Rebecca with Parent Teacher Bridge, where you can find the ideas and resources you need to empower you to be your child's most influential teacher. Today, we are talking about reading levels. A lot of parents get hung up on the idea of reading levels, and I completely understand if your child is enrolled in a school. Why? Well, because no one really wants their child to be retained. No one really wants their child to feel like they are behind. And if your child is enrolled in a school, whether it is a private school or a public school, you're going to want to help your child fill in some gaps and be close enough to what is considered on level. Now, if you homeschool like my family does, you can take things a little bit more at your own pace. But I usually recommend to parents that they not get too far behind or what is considered behind, because as your child gets to the upper elementary age, they're not really going to be wanting to read the material that is in a beginning reader book. So it's nice if you can get them past that beginner reader stage first. With that said, today I have my daughter who is in first grade, and she is going to read a first grade passage or part of a first grade passage just as a sample. Now, she is a very good reader, so do not feel bad if your child is reading at a kindergarten level and they are in first grade. This is merely just to show you an example of a first grade reading level. Now, before we begin, make sure you click like and subscribe so you can be notified each time I upload a new video for your child's education. A child grows so much in reading at the first grade level that just to say first grade is pretty vague. In fact, there are different reading level systems that people use that are a little bit more descriptive than saying first grade. Something that a few schools that I've worked in use is guided reading levels. You can also find some reading levels on the website Reading A to Z, and these will use letters of the alphabet. So, for example, by the time a child gets to a letter D or a letter E, they're probably considered reading at it what is considered a first grade reading level. And the lower levels below that would be considered kindergarten. Now, once your child gets good enough at reading where they can pick a book off the shelf, read it, understand it, be fluent at it, it tends to be not as important that you actually know an exact reading level. In homeschool, I don't ever do this with my children. I never say, well, you're on this reading level or you are on that reading level. We just simply read for enjoyment and for learning. But she's going to read a little bit for you. And what I've printed off today is absolutely free. I got it on a website called K5 Learning. So this is a little bit about what it looks like. And it's got some words at the top that you can go over with your child if you think they may not know them. You can go over those words at the end. And then the second page. So as you can see, there aren't many pictures. That's a good thing. It's okay to add one or two pictures for context, but we don't want the story to heavily rely on pictures because you don't want your child to guess. Now, I'm going to include in the description a few links that will show you some grade level correlations, and if you look at these links carefully, you will see that there is some overlapping. School may seem like a factory in many ways, but we know that not every child is the same. Not every child is even the same age. And man, let me tell you, 6 to 8 months age gap in first grade can matter quite a bit. So if your child is one of those summer babies, please give them a pass a little bit and don't be too hard on them. Okay, so let's switch the camera here, and I'm going to allow you to see what Everly is seeing so you can hear what she is reading. So Everly, I want you to be able to speak up and speak clearly so they can hear if we just mess up on a little word or anything like that. All right, so we have our printout from k5learning.com. This was free. And this is considered a level E reader. Now, something you're going to see on these websites is they aren't exactly all the same, but they're pretty much close enough. It's really annoying. Let's start again. Okay. All right, we have our free printout from K5 Learning. It is a level E reader. They have some words at the top that you can go over with your child before they begin reading. And by the way, if you start reading a passage and it's too hard for your child, you can stop and save it for later and go back to a previous letter. All right, Everly, tell me if you know the words.
Close.
Okay, that one has a suffix and there's its base word. Do you know this word?
Shelf.
Excellent. It has a digraph there and a blend. And this one?
Room.
Excellent. We see that vowel team there. And this word?
Blanket.
Blanket. I see a welded sound. I see a blend there. And this one?
Floor.
Excellent. There's that vowel team again.
Bed.
Excellent. We see that as a consonant, vowel, consonant word. You've known those for a while. What is the title of our story?
The Missing Doll.
Okay, nice and loud. Use your finger to follow along. And when you say the word, your finger needs to be under the word. So if you're reading this up here, don't have your finger down here. Okay? You may begin.
Jane was very sad. She could not find her doll. Her mom said, "Look in your room. Maybe your doll is there." Jane looked in her room. It was a terrible mess. She started to clean her room. She put all the books on the shelf. She put her blankets on her bed. She picked up her clothes off the floor.
And we see her doing her work, don't we? She's doing her work with a smile. Do you do your work with a smile? Only if you're listening to good music? All right. And get your finger ready.
I found her, Jane said. My doll was hiding under my clothes, I think. She was playing hide and seek. Jane put her doll in the dollhouse. Her room was clean, and now it was time to play.
Excellent. Thank you very much for reading. So, you knew all of these words at the top. Very nice. And what happened when you read this part? Do you remember? Did you have an accident?
Yeah.
So what did you accidentally say at first?
Can't remember.
I think you said took.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you really knew it was what word?
Look.
Yeah, we just had to look at it again. You did a great job. You spoke nice and loud. You tracked your print with the finger. But right here, on this part right here, make sure you pay attention to the period, because I think when you were reading you said, "My doll was hiding under my clothes, I think." How should this part be read if we're paying attention to this period? Can you read just this section one more time?
My doll was hiding under my clothes. I think she was playing hide and seek.
Yes. All right. Good job. And sometimes we have to watch that because our children will want to stop where there's not a period and all of that. Okay, it's question time. All right. Here we go. Let's sit up. Now this reading A to Z, not reading A to Z. Reading A to Z does have some, but they are a subscription service. This is K5 Learning, and it has an answer key for you in case you need that. I don't think we do. And then it has a few questions you can guide your child in. Now, when I'm reading with my own children at home, I don't need someone else to tell me what questions I should ask. But if you're a little bit new to this idea, it can help you get the hang of it, and pretty much you should be able to do this on your own. Number 1, Jane lost her pet, doll, or truck.
Doll.
Number 2, Jane found it under her clothes, blanket, or hat.
Clothes.
Number 3, at the start of the story, Jane's room was clean, messy, or green.
Messy. Green.
At the end of the story, Jane's room was clean, messy, or wet.
Clean.
What happened first, second, and third? Now for this part, they have it listed out. I'm going to let her read these 3. All right, which of these happened first, second, or third? Read these out loud.
Jane found her doll. Jane could not find her doll. Jane cleaned her room.
What happened first?
Jane could not find her doll.
All right, what happened second?
Jane cleaned her room.
And third?
Jane found her doll.
Okay, now we're showing you this tiny example, which is considered sequencing. It means just putting things in order. Everly has never really done worksheets on sequencing. When children go to school, they have so many children in a teacher's classroom, they don't get as much one-on-one time, so therefore they might teach sequencing and putting things in order as an actual lesson. But in the homeschooling environment, I work with her. I only have 3 kids to 1 teacher, that's me, and I don't have to teach that putting things in order as explicitly, but because she has proper comprehension, she can do this when asked. Okay, answer each question. Have you ever lost anything?
Yes.
Okay, what did you lose?
Once I lost my Raggedy Ann and I never found her again, and I still don't have her.
Okay, the next question says, where did you find it?
Nowhere.
And you still haven't found it.
Nowhere.
But you know what? Your brother lost a stuffed animal once and he found it in his dad's car, right? You don't remember that. Okay, so there are other levels that you can find on this website. I'll leave a link. It's K5 Learning. You can also do some searches if you'll type in things like first grade reading passage, first grade level passage, first grade fluency passage. You can also type in first grade decodable reader, anything like that. They're going to have levels of books that are easier for a first grader. And remember, if you just say first grade, that encompasses several sub-levels. I like the ones that are lettered, like A, B, C, D, and so on. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what this website looks like where I got this. It's just one of many, okay? So it helps me sometimes when I'm tutoring students in these beginning stages so that I can find something to snag, grab a copy, send home with them to their parent, to have them have something they can read that's a good fit, that's not too hard and not too easy. And you can go to reading by grade, and you can go to grade 1. So where I found this that I used today was the leveled stories, and there it is, the missing doll. You can print this PDF for free. You can also buy a workbook that kind of goes with it. It's a level E leveled reading workbook. So it has 96 pages, and there are multiple stories like The Ice Cream Truck, Chinese New Year, Hannah's Haircut, The Little Builder, Finding Fossils, and 15 more. And it's all on level E. So the best part is, if your child's teacher gives your child a level, here's the table of contents, you can focus on that level or focus on the next level above. Most teachers don't bother going through this and teaching the parents of the child what they can exactly do at home. Again, we did reading, grade 1, leveled stories. If we go back from leveled stories, we can go into children's stories and worksheets. Let's see. This one, it just says grade 1. It actually does not say the level on there, but you could still use it. More collections. This is a fable collection. And then there are some exercises. These are some reading skills your child's teacher may use. Parents, I hope that helps. But if there's anything that you're not understanding regarding reading levels or how your child's school does it or what you can be doing at home, don't hesitate to leave me a comment below, or more specifically, you can email me, Rebecca@theparentteacherbridge.com, and I will respond to your email. I am happy to help. Just let me know. A lot of teachers don't even think to include some of this information for parents, or maybe they've tried before and they found that parents weren't really interested, and then they stop somewhere along the way. But you aren't interested because you're sitting here watching videos like this, right? So I've helped a lot of kids learn to read and learn to read better through the elementary years, and I'm happy to help you. Now, don't forget to click like and subscribe below, and I also want you to know that if you get on my email list, you can get a free download, 5 quick tips to immediately help your struggling reader. And not only that, you can get a discount on my new course, A Busy Mom's Guide to Teaching Your Child to Read. I'm going to lay out everything I did with my own 3 children from beginning to end to teach them how to read those beginning level reading books. And I'm even working on a next course that follows this one. So you're going to want to make sure that you're on my email list so you get all the details about that as well as the discounts. Remember, parents, you are your child's most influential teacher.